Google Cloud Next with Sarah, and she's going to talk to us about the talk she did about accelerating your AI with serverless. Sarah, thank you so much for being here with us and chatting with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course, it's a pleasure. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself? What do you do here at Google, and a little bit about your talk?
Yeah, sure. I'm a developer relations engineer at Google on the serverless team.
Nice. Wonderful. And your talk was?
Accelerate your AI with serverless. So it was basically an overview of how Google Cloud does serverless, aka Cloud Run, and also I had 3 demos that showed how you can use Vertex AI with Cloud Run.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, so in these 3 demos, can you walk me through what were these demos and why did you choose them specifically?
Yeah, so I'll start with the why. Because I wanted to show different contexts where you could use serverless or Cloud Run, where you could use a Cloud Run service with Vertex AI or with Gemini. So the first demo was a Gemini demo and showed how to do a Cloud Run service with a Gemini-powered chatbot. Then the second one, it was called very similar to the first demo, but it used function calling. So basically, LLMs can seem frozen in time based on their training data. For example, if I ask Gemini, hey, what is the current weather in Seattle? It's going to say, I don't know, because its training data ended April of 2023.
Right.
But with function calling, you could go to, like, for example, a Cloud Run service and find out what is the current weather in Seattle, which I hard-coded as 40 degrees and rainy, because that is ask me how I feel about Seattle. And so that was demo number 2. So you make the call on Gemini's behalf. And then demo 3 was using a different type of Cloud Run resource. There's Cloud Run services, but there's also Cloud Run jobs. And a Cloud Run job just runs a container or the code to completion. And so I showed how to use different non-Gemini specific Vertex AI APIs in that demo.
Wonderful. Okay, and just to give folks at home maybe a little bit of the background, what is serverless and what are the benefits of it?
Yeah, sure. So serverless is where I would think of it as like you outsource your SRE or your DevOps to Google. So where you get to focus on your application development and your performance monitoring, and we will take care of auto scaling up if you have more traffic, or scaling down, like if you're like me, you're experimenting, you're prototyping, you spin up an instance, but then you can just forget about it, because after 15 minutes of idle time, Cloud Run will spin down that instance based on traffic.
Oh, got it. Okay. So then, in terms of using Cloud Run, a lot of people ask, where should I run my code?
Yeah. So usually I always start with, well, okay, where are you? Where are you starting from? Like, are you comfortable with containers or not? If let's say like you just have your code, and that was my first and second demo, demos 1 and 2, where I used build packs to show that you don't have to have a Docker file. We will containerize your code for you, so you can just bring your code. I think there's 7 languages that are supported by build packs. In demo number 3, I actually use a Docker file because I had to install a third-party binary, FFmpeg for that specific demo. But usually, I always like, are you comfortable with Kubernetes? If you are, check out GKE.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so if folks want to watch maybe other sessions on serverless that have been happening at Next, what would you recommend?
Yeah, so there's What's New in Cloud Run, where they demoed this morning in the keynote the app Canvas, where you can describe your architecture in natural language, and it will produce not only a diagram of your architecture, but you can actually hit deploy. And it will actually deploy that. Yeah, so that was my teammate Vitsa. So if you want to see this live, go to his session and Staren, the PM for Cloud Run. It was called Generative AI using LangChain with Cloud Run. But yeah, it was pretty cool. He asked, I want a Cloud Run a service with Cloud SQL, and then it generates a scaffold, or it shows you what the architecture will look like. Then he says, give me a Cloud Run, a Cloud SQL, give me I want to use Gemini, and then it wires up Gemini, or Vertex AI integration, and then you hit deploy, and it deploys it for you.
Yes, okay.
Really cool. I did the manual way, because I wanted to show step by step what is going on when you're writing code. And I also want to just call out that everything I demoed in my talk, I have a step-by-step guide in the Code Labs. So I told my audience, do not take notes, take a screenshot of these QR codes. Everything is already taken care of you. Go to the Code Lab, you can start from scratch.
Wonderful. Okay, and we'll make sure to link those Code Labs in the description as well, so all of you can check those out. And okay, I'm going to throw you a little bit of a curveball here. If developers want to get started, seamlessly integrate this into their workflow, what can they do? Can you tell me in 60 seconds or less?
If you want to get started with Cloud Run, you can go to the Cloud Console, and from there you will see how you can deploy an already created container image of the hello world, happy dancing unicorn, that is what I call it. And you can just go from there and get a feel of the auto scaling. I would say, yeah, start there in the Cloud Console, get an idea of the auto scaling up and down, the knobs and dials that you can fine tune for yourself. And then you can do the source-based deployments. It's kind of like the next step in our documentation so that you can get your own code deployed. And then you can go from there, from the continuous deployment, wherever you have your Git repo and so forth.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for chatting with us, Sarah.
Yeah.
And have a great rest of your next.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.